at one of my doctor visits most recently. I was going to go on a cruise for my daughter's February break this year, and the doctor told me he really hoped I went and enjoyed it. And then when I came back, he said, "I'm so glad you had a great time. I hope you get to go again." So just, there was never, he didn't never sugarcoat anything, but I just left every time feeling hopeless. Every single visit, just praying I get some more time. And he didn't give me much of that. And so I started this most recent treatment I had. I had one session of treatment, and it made me so sick that my children actually came to my house, and my adult children, and my son just laid in my bed and cried because we thought I was dying. That's how bad I was. And so I just said, I can't do this anymore. I can't do one more treatment. And my family was just saying, just you have to. And I just said, I can't. I am Rachel Perry, and I am from Atascocita, Texas. This is my sister-in-law, Kimberly.
Yes, I live nearby.
My cancer journey started in 2002. I was 31 years old. I had twins that were 7 and a 2-year-old, and I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And so I had surgeries, and I did chemotherapy, and I was clear for 12 years. And then in 2014, it came back with a vengeance. And so I've been receiving treatment nonstop since 2014. I have had every kind of chemotherapy that you could think of. I've had radiation. I actually did a year of holistic treatment in the United States, but nothing compared to what's happened here. It's no comparison. But even after that, a year after that, at the end of the year of that treatment, things started to grow again. And so I sought after conventional treatment again, and just was sick a lot of the time through that process. Fast forward to this year, I was at a wedding, and I had a spontaneous fracture of my arm or a pathologic fracture of my arm from a tumor that would just completely filled my arm. And so I had to have major surgery and radiation. And since my original diagnosis, we adopted a baby. And so I have a 12-year-old at home as well. I have a 22-year-old at home and a 12-year-old at home. And I lost my mother to breast cancer when I was 17. And so I knew what that looked like. There was 5 kids still at home. So I knew what that looked like not to have your mother. And I just have prayed and prayed, Lord, let me raise my children and let me be a part of my grandchildren's lives. And so I'm believing, I'm expecting a miracle.
And this whole time, for over 20 years, she has faced every bad report with joy. She'll send updates every time she has a PET scan or any kind of scan. She'll text the family members, and she never seems fazed by the reports, no matter what they say. But this past 6 months, when she started really having trouble and going downhill, she lost her hope.
Literally, the day that I was my sickest, I literally prayed, Lord, please just take me. I can't do this anymore. And so I don't feel that way anymore. I can do this. I can do this. I want to do this. I'm doing this. And I'm expecting a miracle. And so my sister-in-law, Kimberly, has been telling me about Hope4Cancer for about 5 years. But it's a financial commitment that I wasn't able to make at the time. And so, after speaking to my husband, because I really hadn't talked to my husband about it before very much, and after talking to him, he said, I don't care how much it costs. How much if it costs. If it buys you a year or 5 years or a lifetime, it's worth it to me. And so that's what started the process. We just I got online and filled out the questionnaire and made the call, and I was here within 7 days.
What really shocked me was how family and friends and strangers donated to help her get here, people that she doesn't even know. And at first I offered to help her, and it didn't dawn on me that we could ask other people if they wanted to help and they could be a part of her healing. So I'm thrilled that there's like 150 people that are a part of her being here, and they get to be part of her healing. So to me, that is powerful, that it's not just us doing it by ourselves. It's lots of people, her community, loving on her. And she's always been a giver. And so this is time for her just to sit back, relax, and be the one receiving.
It's been amazing. It's absolutely been, it's been overwhelming to see people that I have no idea who they are donating to see my healing.
Just her getting on the Facebook, on the Hope4Cancer page and looking at the testimonials just instantly brought her hope.
There's one particular lady that is a breast cancer survivor. She told a little bit of my story on her video. It was like, every time you leave, you're hopeless. You feel like you've received a death sentence. And she said, now I can visualize seeing my grandkids graduate, seen my grandkids have babies. And so that was just spoke to me, because that was my thing, was my biggest reason to want to survive is to raise my children, and to be part of my grandchildren's lives. And so that spoke to me, and that's ultimately the reason I chose to come.
One thing that impressed me about the Hope4Cancer is they say that they're not treating the cancer, they're treating the patient. And I love the 7-step program and how they're focused on what she's thinking. And because when she lost hope, we all realized she was going downhill. And part of that was not just the cancer, it was her mental, where she was mentally.
Absolutely. And we were just fortunate enough to be here when Dr. Tony was here. And so got to have a 30-minute visit with him, as well as a 2-hour Q&A, and that was amazing. That was amazing.
It was a real treat.
When I walked in, I mean, I'm just astounded at the providers. Every person is just so willing to do anything for you, to help you. They're so kind, they're smiling. The food is amazing. I would like to take the chef home with me, because it is amazing.
Yes. Dr. Tony tells her, though, he's got a tracker on the chef and she can't take him.
Right. Just the schedule that they give you each day, and just, they're on top of it. If you're not where you're supposed to be, they're looking for you. To me, it's been easy. Like I said, I've enjoyed the food. I've enjoyed the care. I mean, when you can enjoy a coffee enema, you've done something.
Well, that's one of the things we were talking about when we were discussing Hope4Cancer, is she had just been so sick that weekend. And I said, that's made you so sick. Hope4Cancer is going to make you feel better. Their treatments aren't going to make you sick like this. So that was very important. That was the top of our list, that these treatments are actually helping her body to heal itself the way God created.
I feel amazing. I feel energetic. One of the nurses said he could tell a difference from me from the first week I got here till today. And I believe it, because I feel it. And even just in a joy, I mean, I knew I was hopeful when I got here, but I'm even 1,000 times more hopeful than when I got here.
And then we've got to spend our week planning what it's going to look like when she gets back home. So we've been figuring out which of the treatments to buy, and she's actually bought quite a few of them, and they're being shipped, and they'll be ready for her when she gets home. And she told her daughter, clear out the entire refrigerator and freezer. I need it all gone. I want a clean slate. So when she gets home, we're just going to be ready to organize her life. She's clearing out a special room in her house. What are you going to call it?
The cancer killing room.
Cancer killing room.
I'm ready to live, because I haven't been living for about 6 months. I'm ready to live. I shall live and not die and declare the works of the Lord. That's my verse.